Hello, and welcome back to the Misty Morrison podcast. I'm your host, Misty Morrison, and this is episode 83 of Was I in the Wrong? Here on the Misty Morrison podcast, we love to read or listen. We like to give advice and help people look back on their situations with that 2020 vision to see how they could have handled the situations more gracefully. We are here to bring common sense back to being just a little bit more common. Before we get into our stories for the day, our usual housekeeping, whether you are new or returning, please remember to engage with the content to help the channel grow. Every little bit of online engagement is free and can help build the dream. If you are listening on podcast, please leave a 5-star review if you liked it. Anywhere else, give it a like, a heart, a thumbs up. Share it with a friend. Leave a comment with your thoughts on stories down below. Subscribe for more. And if you're on YouTube, hit the bell icon to be notified every time I post a new video. Long-form content goes live every Tuesday and Thursday, 6 a.m. On podcast and YouTube. Everywhere else, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, shorts go live 3 times daily. All right, into our stories for the day. Well, before we get into our stories for the day, I just woke up from a nap I did not plan to take, and my eyes are red and so itchy now. So, we're going to make it through. Story number 1 is coming to us from r/AITH. AITH for not texting a client that's on holiday. For the 4th of July parade, my husband wanted to park behind Main Street at a client's house. He said they weren't home and was on vacation in Milan. We're in California. He asked me to text them for permission to park in their driveway. For context, we own a business and I handle the contacts. I said no. It's a different time zone / country, on vacation, and a holiday. Instead, I told him to park at his mom's house since his dad wouldn't be home for a while, and I got permission from his mom. His mom lives 1 block from Main Street, but he doesn't have a relationship / not speaking terms with his dad. There was no argument, and he was maybe a bit irritated. We actually don't live far from Main Street and a 15-minute walk, so my son and I opted to walk. We walked to Grandma's and met up with friends before walking over to Main Street to find a spot to watch the parade. My husband shows up 15 minutes later. He parked at the client's house and even joked with our friends that the client was out of the country so they wouldn't know. We had a good time and a couple hours passed, so we started to head home. I opted to walk home with our son and my husband went to get the car. We get home first, then my husband shows up 5 minutes later. He starts yelling at me. He says that when he asks me to do something that I need to do it. No questions, no giving him lip or causing an argument. I ask him what he's talking about. He said how embarrassing it was for him to go and ring the doorbell because our car was blocked in. Apparently the clients were home. The oldest son recognized the car as ours, but the family already promised parking to their driveway for a friend of theirs. Since they weren't 100% sure it was ours, they didn't do anything. My husband fully blames me, even until now. He said if I had texted the client to begin with, then all this could have been avoided. I said it was still a weird ask when they're just a client and it was last minute. He made that decision to park there after he knew I didn't text them and I gave him a solution, also knowing that I still didn't text them afterwards. His rebuttal was he's comfortable parking there since he talks to the clients, which is once a month. I said, if you're so comfortable, then why are you so embarrassed? He said his main issue was that I didn't do as he asked. Except he didn't get mad at me until he picked up the car. He said he knows he can't count on me to do anything. I said he could have just texted them himself. We have a shared calendar with client contact info. This is a really weird thing for your husband to flip out like this over, especially considering you told him you weren't gonna text them. He shouldn't have been confused or surprised when something happened because they weren't contacted. He knew they weren't contacted. He chose to park there anyway because he was confident they were not there, so it wouldn't matter. You're right, you said no. Clearly you gave him the solution to park at his mom's house. He chose not to. Everything that happened after that is on him. You are right. This was a really weird thing for him to flip out over. This was a situation of his own making. Don't feel bad for him. He can get over it. Story number 2 is coming to us from r/AITH. AITA for refusing to donate my kidney to my brother-in-law after I found out his alcoholism was hidden from me. Throwaway because family knows my main. I, 34 male, have been married to my wife, 33 female, for 6 years. We have a 3-year-old daughter. Her older brother, 38 male, and I always got along. He's a funny guy, charming. I knew he drank, but was told it was just social, a couple beers here and there. I never saw him wasted at family events, so I believed it. 2 months ago, he collapsed and was rushed to the hospital. End-stage renal failure. It was a massive shock. My wife was devastated. Her parents were in pieces. I'm O positive and in decent shape, so the family looked at me immediately. I didn't even hesitate. I said I'd get tested. It felt like the obvious thing to do. He's family. Initial tests showed I'm a match. The process moved forward. Then, during the psych screening and the detailed medical history review, the transplant coordinator started asking me weird questions. Stuff like, "Are you aware of the patient's full history with alcohol?" I said, "Yeah, social drinking." She went quiet and said she couldn't share details but recommended I have a very honest conversation with my wife. That night, I asked my wife directly. I didn't accuse. I just said, "Has your brother ever had treatment for alcoholism?" She broke down, came clean. Turns out he's been in and out of rehab since he was 25. 2 DUIs, one that was nearly a felony. Turns out he's been in and out of... His previous liver issues were told to me as hepatitis. The kidney failure, directly caused by years of heavy drinking, he never stopped, even after multiple doctors warned him. The family made a collective decision to hide all this from me because, in her words, we were scared you'd judge him and say no. I've been sitting with this for 2 weeks now. I told him yesterday, I will not donate. Not because I don't empathize with addiction, I do, but because I was being set up to give an organ without informed consent. My wife, who I have trusted with everything, sat through every medical meeting and looked me in the eye while letting me believe a sanitized version of reality. I told her if I had known everything from day one, I still would have gotten tested. I might even have still said yes. But you took that choice away from me. That's what I can't move past. Her family has blown up. Her mother called me a murderer. Her father said I'm sentencing him to death over pride. My wife cries every night and says I'm punishing her brother for a mistake she made. My own mother thinks I should give the kidney and deal with the marriage later. My dad says I'm right. My best friend said, "Just do it, man. You can divorce her after, but don't let a guy die." I look at my daughter and I think I want her to grow up knowing that her father doesn't allow himself to be manipulated, even by people he loves. But then I see my wife curled up on the bathroom floor and I wonder if I'm actually just a cold-hearted piece of shit. AITA. Edit. I didn't back out of a scheduled surgery or anything. I was still in the evaluation phase, so no one lost a kidney slot. He's on the national list and receiving dialysis. I want to know, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Your body, your choice. That is your kidney to do what you want with. You don't know, you might need to later. And a kidney donation surgery, that is a big surgery to recover from. But I want to know, like, once you said no, did anyone else in the family go get tested? He has a sister, he has parents. Did anyone else in their family, extended family, go get tested? Yes, you were an easy choice because you're O positive. But maybe there's another choice of someone who is at this point willing to donate to him without him having to wait on the donor registry. I don't blame you. I mean, I might be even a little bit more judgmental than you and think, okay, you ruined your own kidneys with your life choices. How do I know you're going to change once you get my kidney? Like, are you just going to turn around and ruin my kidney too with continued bad choices? Like, once you give it up, it's not yours anymore. But, like, if you know that's what someone's going to do with it, would you still give it? But, I mean, you, very big person for saying, you empathize with addiction. And had they been honest with you from day one, you probably still would have donated because he was family and you cared about your wife and your family and her family. But the fact that everyone in this family colluded against you, decided that they were going to tell this story from day one, hide this from you the entire time you've been together. For how, 6 years? Yeah. Well, you've been married for 6 years. You've surely been together longer than that. So for longer than 6 years, everyone in this family has lied to you, thinking maybe that one day you would be this man's saving grace. Not thinking fully of the consequences that came along with their choice to fabricate a story. Let's see. Her mother called you a murderer. No. He made his bed. He's lying in it. It's a hospital bed. Her father said you're sentencing her brother to death over pride. No, it's not about pride. It's about trust. Still, you're not the one sentencing him to anything. He did it himself. Your wife cries every night saying you're punishing her brother for mistakes she made. No, you're punishing everyone for a mistake that they all made. He also made the choice not to be honest. Everyone in that family made the choice not to be honest. Your own mother thinks you should give the kidney and deal with the marriage later. But if you weren't married to your wife, if this wasn't your brother-in-law, you probably wouldn't know him and you probably wouldn't be in the process of donating a kidney at the moment. Like, the situation would be different. Your dad thinks you're right. Go, Dad. Your best friend said, just do it. You can divorce her after, but don't let a guy die. His life is not your responsibility. That seems very cold-hearted, but that is the fact. His life is not your responsibility. Your life is. Well, you're married. Your wife's life is. And forever, your daughter's life is. Do I think your daughter's really going to think about this later on, thinking that you were manipulated into giving your kidney? She's probably not going to think that much about it. She's what, 3? She's 3. She's not thinking that hard about this. So I don't think that's the reason. I think you in your heart want to know in the end that you weren't manipulated into doing something you wouldn't otherwise have done. I don't think that's about your daughter. I think that's about you not wanting to be manipulated, and that's okay. So no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You got here through deceit. So you have every right to say, whoa, this is not what I signed up for. People will do questionable things under extreme levels of stress. And if your wife knew about this and suspected her brother was sick, or if the family did, then they were under extreme levels of stress when they made the choice to lie to you. You guys have a kid together, so you're always going to have your wife in your life, whether or not you're married. I would recommend going to counseling, her to individual counseling, maybe both of you to individual counseling, and also at least both of you to couples therapy to try to work through this. Figure out if this is the only thing that she's lied to you about. I think that you can work through it with therapy because of the reasons that she came here, because of the stress that brought her to making a bad decision. Yeah, I recommend saving the marriage, but I think you're right not to give the kidney. If she can't get past that, then that's on her. You are right. Story number 3 is coming to us from r/AITH. AITH for getting upset with my husband for refusing to lock the doors. Backstory: I'm a 49-year-old woman who has been married for 16 years, together for 18, and for the life of me, I do not understand why my husband will not lock the doors when he leaves for work, or even at times when we go to bed. I have to constantly remind him to lock the doors. Well, this morning I got up a little earlier than usual and noticed the back door to the house was unlocked. One of the locks on the security door wasn't locked, and one of the locks on the back door wasn't locked. At any given point, someone could have broken in. But if the door is unlocked, is it breaking in? I don't think it is. Breaking in literally implies you had to break something or pick the lock to get in. For the life of me, I do not understand why he will not lock the doors. But ironically enough, whenever I go out to the market to take a walk, I'll come back and all the doors are locked as if he's locking me out. Can someone help me out with this? Why is it that he will lock the doors when I'm out of the house, but when I'm in the house with our daughters, he will not lock the doors? 4 nights ago, I had a very disturbing dream that intruders entered our home, and they were looking to harm me in the dream. I asked them, "Who are you looking for? What do you want?" And then I woke up out of the dream. Am I the a-hole for being upset with him and not trusting him? This is weird. It wasn't weird to me until you said he locks every door once you're gone. Does he feel that, like, you are the protector, that as long as you're there, he's safe? I'll look at some of the comments in a second because it's a short post, but this was 7 days ago and it has 25 comments. Okay, so my initial thought was, we live rural, and whenever I moved in here, my husband did not lock any doors. His mom keeps things locked up like Fort Knox. He didn't lock any doors. The key to the vehicles were always in his vehicles. The doors were unlocked. He was out there. If someone wanted it, they could have it. The house was never locked. At night, while he was gone, during the day, nothing. I don't like that because, one, I came from the city. Two, I don't trust people. In the city, there was a lock, a deadbolt, another deadbolt, and a chain on the door. I lock everything. Like, I'm relaxed enough because of where we live. Like, during the day, the doors are unlocked. But when we leave, like, for a weekend, we lock the doors. At night, the doors are locked. I'm very paranoid about the doors being locked at night. Like, I will get up in the middle of the night, like, before we're going to bed, I'll track through the house. Back door, check. Front door, check. If I wake up at any point and get out of bed, walking back through the house, front door, still locked. Back door, still locked. Everything's fine. I did eventually get him into a habit. He locks the doors. No problem. The keys are still in his vehicles, and it's still what it is. My car's not locked because I get annoyed if I need to run out there to grab something in my car and I can't get in because I left my key in the house, but my key's not in it. Back when I had a car I didn't care about, I left the key in it and the door's unlocked and said if they want it, they can have it. I don't care. But I like my car now. So the key's inside. Yeah, that was what I initially thought of when I first read the story. But the fact that anytime you leave, he's locking all the doors. That's where it gets weird, and I can't quite figure that out. Chocolate milk snack. Okay, let's see some of the comments. The first comment says, NTA. Oh, I didn't give my thoughts. So, no, you're not wrong for getting upset with him for refusing to lock the doors. You're right. It should be about comfort for both people. He may not care if the doors are locked, but when you have expressed that it is important for you for the doors to be locked, you do not feel safe if the doors are not locked, then it should be important enough for him to say, okay, it doesn't matter to me, but it does to you, I'll lock the doors. It's so easy. It's so simple. There's no reason not to. So yeah, you're right for the way you feel, because this is one of those little simple things to make your partner feel safe. That is easy to do. Okay. The first comment says, NTA, you need to call him out for willingly and purposely putting your safety and life in danger every morning. It's on purpose. He knows how to lock doors. Next comment, NTA, he has told you why he's doing it. Next comment, NTA, this is something that does need to be respected, communicated, and followed through on. This is a safety issue. There could be a routine before bed to just make sure the locks are all set. There are some technology solutions nowadays too for smart locks that have a keypad and can auto lock after a period of time. Just make sure everyone has a key or a code, etc. Ooh, I do like that, the smart locks thing. I'm not that high tech here. But I do like that where you could set it to automatically lock at like 9 p.m. Very good. The next comment says, NTA, the fact that he refuses to lock the door when you're home and then intentionally does it only when you are gone is extremely telling. I'm thinking he's either cheating or he's controlling/abusive. It's always something seemingly small like this that points to much bigger issues. I can agree with this. It doesn't make sense to me that he would be cheating based on this behavior, but it might be some type of psychological abuse that he's locking the doors when you're gone. And the next comment says, NTA, sounds like he's playing mind games with OP. I wonder what else he's doing. Yeah, it goes on. The consensus is that OP is, of course, not the asshole. But yeah, lots of good points raised about the odd behavior. Definitely something to look more into. And also, why have you put up with this for 16 years? Like, this is a long time to 16 years later be like, I'm so aggravated. He's still not locking the doors. This was a huge issue for me when me and my husband got together. I'm like, nope, like, I cannot sleep if the doors are not locked. So we became a door locking household. The fact that you're 16 years in and still dealing with this is a major issue. Let's read palate cleanser. Story number 4 is coming to us from r/random acts of kindness. The elderly woman with groceries and no umbrella in the rain. I was at a CVS store in the pouring rain in Texas. An elderly woman was outside with a basket with wheels full of things, just standing there. I asked her if she needed help. She told me she was waiting for the rain to stop. I was in a small car, no room to put in the basket and her, so I asked her how far she was going. Her apartment was right behind the CVS. I asked her if she wanted me to walk her home. I pulled out my big umbrella from the back of the car, walked her and her groceries home. It was less than a 5-minute walk. She told me that it was the kindest thing anyone had ever done for her, and she was so grateful. It was a simple thing to do, took less than 10 minutes, but I changed her day and gave her something that every human should do for another. Help them out. One kind act per day, my mom always told me. And I was so glad I noticed her and said something. I love that. The first comment said, not all heroes wear capes and some angels don't have wings. You did real good. And OP replied to that one and said, I'm old school and was raised that way, but it has served me all along in life to be kind. And for her, this truly meant the world. She could have stood there for hours more until the rain stopped and was just sad. I could not believe she had no one to help her. Yeah, I love that. Like, you really just took a few minutes out of your day to help someone, an act of kindness. And I really love the end where you said, your mom always said, one kind act per day. And I think that's such an amazing but simple goal we could all incorporate into our days, to just do one kind thing, no matter how small, even just giving someone a compliment. One kind thing. I love it. Okay, that is 4 stories for this week's episode of Was I in the Wrong? Thank you so much for being here for another episode of the Misty Morrison podcast. Remember, start each day with a grateful heart. Kindness changes everything. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.